Welcome to Project Ascension Warcraft Reborn on the Bronzebeard realm. Once again I'm playing my warrior, this time I'm playing Fury Warrior, and this is the Majordomo Executus fight from the Molten Core raid in Mythic difficulty. Here I'm finally going for a proper cleaving build, which means my current Mystic Enchant build will excel at area of effect damage, AoE damage, especially at more than 2-3 targets, but not uncapped AoE, so this is ideal for hitting like 3-4 targets at the same time, especially doing a pretty decent amount of damage across 3 targets at the same time. We had many players that could do interrupts on this raid, so I didn't feel the responsibility to interrupt very often. I still did a few, but I was lacking a little bit on that part, and I was focusing a little bit more on my damage, which was quite nice, so I was happy to oblige on the damage part since the fight favored that for my class. I think I could do pretty well in AoE using my arms build as well, but the problem with arms is that it will be very easy for me to pull threat and pull aggro because of the thunderclaps. And I'm not sure if I would end up going for the heavyweight build and empowering more on the thunderclap, or if I would go for the Ravager build with Ravager and Bladestorm on cooldown, but then struggling a little bit more on single target once all the adds die and I'm just doing damage to the boss. I think I can accelerate a little bit the video because the fight is a little bit more of the same, just cleaving the adds, a few interrupts, and then we'll change for the second phase, but nothing much is going on. It's a pretty simple fight, at least from the DPS perspective. I think this last weekend was my first time raiding as a Fury Warrior. Usually I've been raiding as an Arms Warrior ever since I started raiding in Zul'Gurub. Arms was very nice for me because I had lots of different procs to care about and lots of different auras to track. Arms had so many different abilities to press and so many different cooldowns to manage. With Fury the rotation is a lot more simple and basic. Here you'll see me turning back and charging at the Shines. For me this is kinda like a DPS loss. Usually or ideally you would want the ranged DPS to switch targets because they won't have any downtime by switching targets. And for me as a melee DPS you'll see during this fight that sometimes when I need to walk around and when I need to go to the Shines and then come back, there is a debuff that gives me a slowing effect. I think it will be a mistake for a raid group to have the melee DPSs walking around so slowly across the room to hit their targets, because that's a huge loss of damage and a lot of downtime. But for ranged damage dealers and classes that their abilities are ranged at a distance, they won't need to move to damage different targets. They can just select them. That will make the fight a lot easier for them to actually kill these Shines, for example. Here, if you notice the unit frames on my target, I'm using Demoralizing Shout to reduce the attack power of these adds, and this was something that I was randomly doing when I noticed there was no other class doing anything to put this kind of debuff on the targets, and because we didn't have a protection warrior tank, this buff was missing to mitigate a little bit of damage and help with survivability. This boss is very difficult to damage while the adds are up, and there are a few priorities regarding the adds. The Flame Waker Acolytes are caster adds, and the Flame Waker Elites are the melee adds. And usually, if you are a melee DPS like a warrior, you want to hit the caster ones, and if you are a ranged DPS, you want to hit the elite ones. Once all the adds are down, then it's the ideal time to actually hit the boss. That's when this boss becomes the most vulnerable. At the same time, this boss will not go past 20% of his health, so you need to have that in mind. That will be your target to actually finish this fight. Not really kill the boss, because then this boss will go summon Ragnaros, and Ragnaros will be the one that actually kills this guy, finishes him off before starting the fight against you. We are standing in an area that gives us a little bit of damage. Maybe that will be a little bit of an edge on classes that can enrage, like the Warrior, because I'm enraged all the time. At the same time, the fire res might be a bit useful here if part of this damage is fire damage. It gets mitigated by the fire resist, so it's always nice to have it. The reason why we are standing here in this pit is because now the chains are cleaved off the boss, making it way easier to break the chains. And this is it, this is the fight. Sadly, for classes that want to have an execute phase to deal more damage, you will not have access to that execute phase, which is usually below 20% of the target's health. This was my first time ever doing this fight and killing this boss inside Molten Core. And for me this is a new raid because I never played this raid back in the day, and I don't even know how the mechanics will be in the normal classic version of this raid. I'm just learning from the Ascension mechanics. So right now I only have the damage dealer perspective on this fight. I haven't yet learned what the tanks need to do or what the healers need to do and some of the other details and intricacies for this fight. But I hope my video at least helps you with the damage dealer perspective. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you guys have enjoyed raiding in Molten Core here in Project Ascension. Please don't forget to leave your likes. I'm a new channel and all the support is very welcome. If you want to leave a comment down below, and even subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my content, or check out any other videos that might be interesting for you regarding the Mythic Ancient specs or the add-ons that I'm running. I have all of that in other videos in my channel. Thank you very much for watching and see you on the next one.